Alright, let me get the green screen kind of set up here. Sweet. Alright, let's start this up. Alrighty, I'm going to take the camera over here and move this so I can look at it. And I'm going to walk over here. Alright, green on. Green on. Hello everybody, it's me. We're back at... Why battery close? Maybe you guys can see me over here. Well, green off. We're back again with another Pottery Demo video here. What a terrible way to intro this. Well, I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna just talk while I replace the battery. I guess I'm not gonna do the intro, but that was the intro essentially. But I'm gonna go right up here. I have another little battery over here. So I'm just gonna replace what I got going on in here. There we go. Place the battery. Alright, and then we'll deal with that later. Getting closer, I think, to the final iteration of the basement here, which would be kind of exciting, but I'm going to swap over to wedging table. Wedging table. Oh, sweet, look at that. So now I can wedge some clay. I don't know if anybody's here right now. Looks like somebody was here for a second, but I don't even know how this looks, but this way you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I would like to get light up above here. Just notice that this clay, there's a lot of clay here, you know, so I can probably take some of this off that chunk and then donate it to this one of the soft chunks that are right next to it. Just because we had a mess up yesterday, so let's see if we're gonna be able to even re-wedge this right now. I feel like this probably be better to, we'll see. Let's just do this and see what happens. Maybe I just need to wedge it a few times. Hard chunks in there, but that's okay. You have to deal with those no matter what. This one's pretty soft though, so I gotta keep that in mind for when I'm throwing with it. We don't want to do nothing too crazy on this one. I think it's just kind of cool that you guys can see what I'm doing there. Maybe it'll be kind of cool for you guys to get another angle of what I'm doing. It's just, I guess that does look pretty okay. I think I get to examine it more when I edit, but just kind of cool to have that overhead camera here. You can do a couple different angles too, which is nice. This way you guys can still see what I'm doing even if I don't have the head camera on for today, or some days that I do have it. You know, maybe we'll add something a little bit more fresh for you guys. But this one's a little bit stiff. So this one's gonna be probably the last one I throw with. I can imagine this one's gonna be really good to throw with. Get some good height out of this one. Here we are, pushing this. Slowly pull this out there. let's start with the soft one. See if we can get anything cruising out of this. Whew. All right. Wheel. Is it wheel camera? Oh no, just wheel. Okay. You guys can see a little bit of another angle here. It's kind of cool. A little bit of water on this edge here. Turn this up. I gotta open this up too. I got a lot of chunks in here that I'm not vibing with right now. This will be kind of fun. You guys can see a different side too. Okay. My hands all over my pants. Slowly grab that. Set that down there. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do now again? I can actually face my monitor towards me again. I feel like for a long time I wasn't able to do that. So that's kind of nice that I can start rotating that again, so I can see what's happening a little bit easier. You'd be surprised on like how much the small little things, they really matter. Like especially when you're doing things for a long time. Oh, we're gonna bring that up. I guess I could bring that up a little bit on that top one, but maybe it's okay just like that. We're trying to think about what we're doing here with the clay. Experiment with the way that you handle it, right? And you'll start to learn how it moves a little bit more. Right? That's the fun part. The water on this top edge. Slowly bring this down. There we go, nice. Fist around the top edge. Slowly pushing that down. Bringing the fist right towards the edge of your palm there. Nice. Okay. Some water on the interior there. It's not perfect center, but there you go. And just pull it right along that bottom edge there. Okay, nice. Slowly trying to smooth out some of this thickness. What is this music? I feel like I'm in a video game or something. Or fireworks. 4th of July. Maybe a battlefield, I don't know. Slowly bring this right across my hand there. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay. Push this down ever so slightly. Curl over that edge just a little bit. Nice. Okay. Slowly bring this in. So all I'm trying to do with these first pulls again is always trying to equal out that thickness there. The water on this edge there. Right down again to the bottom. So we're separating it out. Okay, I think we got one more pull with this realistically, but we'll see how we do here. Do a small little collar right at the base. Nice little collar there. I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to go right down to this bottom edge here. And I'll swap over to camera B. Camera B. There we go. Maybe define this little bump. Nice. We got a good thickness all the way through the pot here. Get some of that water out of the inside of my pot here. Great. And again, I didn't replace the water since yesterday, so it's already a little bit too, slimy. Okay, we're gonna right to the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. Tilt to one side there. That's pretty okay. Just keep in mind a little bit thin on that top edge there. I'm gonna slowly bring it down. Ooh, chill out. Looks like it's smiling. I think this has potential to be pretty cool with the tendrils. I'll do a double tendril on this one. I just can't have it hit my hand here. It just is so close to hitting my knuckle. Kind of cool looking, I wonder if we want to have it on the bottom edge or on the back is where we want the tendrils, We could have a wrap over. I feel like that would be kind of cool. But let's just see how they fall. So that's the most we can do. Alright. Take this side. Oh. And we're going to wrap our finger. We're going to cut long tendril here. We actually can't do another one. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I feel like that guy looks. I know, this guy, he's a little sad. He's a little depressed right now. But let's see what we can do with this, right? I'm gonna curl right on this top edge here, And maybe we want them to hold hands up through this. Sounds like they're almost giving each other a little high five there on the edge. I think stuff like that looks pretty cool, you know, so. There we go. This one has it has a cool vibe, even though the top totally collapsed on one side. I think this one still works as a one piece to the puzzle here. Hashtag Mondays, hashtag finals. Oh, is it finals for school stuff? Interesting. Yeah. This guy, he's definitely this pot. He's studying for finals. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, finals are always stressful, but I think it's a good thing to remind yourself that, you know, obviously it depends on what field you go into, but I think a lot of times we overestimate how much studying for like a test in school actually helps us, right? You'd be surprised if you go out and meet 5 people that are within your field and have conversations and discussions, you'll learn a lot of things. That's not stuff that you'd figure out in like a textbook type deal, right? Obviously, you know, you want to like study hard and do a good job and get a good grade, but I really think the end all be all is more about what sort of very niche knowledge can you obtain, not the general knowledge that's available to everybody, right? And so what's going to make you that clutch pick for a business or an opportunity, right? What sets you apart? And getting a good grade on something, I don't know if that's the end all be all, you know. Still, like I said, study hard for that stuff, I guess, right? I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna drop this one down. Oh yeah, camera A. So watch this. Pottery shelf. Oh, look at that. You can kind of see what I got on my background here. So that's kind of cool, you know, like I feel like sometimes you guys don't get to see like the growth, right? This is one section. I got a bunch of stuff upstairs. I'm blending medicine, social work, and fine art. There you go, yo. I feel like that's really, you know, I feel like the modern artist is someone who's highly versatile, right? Can do a little bit of everything. Although like my thing is my pottery stuff, I think that I'm doing all this digital things, learning all this stuff too. I'm teaching classes. I'm learning how to, engage with people a little bit better than what I was before. So, I mean, it's all, I think you're right. It's like all about blending things together to create some cool combinations, right? Okay. I think that's so cool. Bring that down. We're gonna bring out the hammer fist here in a second here. Wheel. I'm doing on the wheel a little bit better, maybe. There we go. Bring this fist back towards us. Just want to make sure we project our hip forward a little bit more, right? Nice. Opening up that clay. There we go. Soften that bottom. Can you see the interior here? I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit. But not that much, huh? I think I could probably zoom that in a little bit more, to be completely honest. Like, you don't really need to see like what's below the wheel. Maybe I can zoom in more right on that wheel part there. I'll do that for the next time. But it's kind of cool having like all these different things. I mean, watch, I can say wedging table. Wedging table. Right, you can see pot number 1 over there. I think that's kind of cool. You know? Slowly bring this in. Slowly bring this edge in. Right, so I just try to erase some of that thickness in that bottom edge. Just slowly bring it up to the top here. How many camera angles and mics do you have hooked up all together? So it's not as much of like how many I got like hooked up, it's what I've allowed them to do, right? So the one above me, you know, I think I only have 3 cameras, right? But I have them do a bunch of different things, right? So I can go, well, I don't have my head camera on, right? So I guess that's 4, right? So I could swap the head camera, so I'd say camera C, camera C. And then I could swap, you know, where that black part is right now is where camera C head cam would be, right? And then I can swap the bottom. So say I wanted you guys to see computer. So you could see like where if I was standing over by the computer and stuff from this one, that same bottom camera. So that camera that's swapped right now, that's not switching at all. Like that's not a different camera, that's the same camera, but it's on a gimbal system. So it can rotate, and I have hotkeys to show where these things are at, right? So then watch, I got pottery shelf, right? So you see how it rotates, and then I got wheel, right? And then I can say, what's the one? Wedging table. Wedging table. Yeah, there we go. So you can see how that kind of looks interesting too, right? I have a lot of different little setups here. Yeah, I think it is. And so then let me get back to camera A. Camera A. So now, you know, I have all these, and then that's all camera B is just a zoomed in version of camera A, right? And then I'm filming at 4K so I can zoom in without losing quality for the output. So then I can say camera B, right? And so I have it all hooked up. I had a foot pedal, but I realized that, you know, the foot pedal is a little bit awkward to use, and I don't have that many buttons, so the voice commands is way better for me, and I already have a mic on my chest, so I was like, well, why not, right? And then after that, I got the hold on, let me finish this poll, sorry. But what else do I have? I thought I had something. Oh yeah, I have the foot pedals though, but I think the foot pedals will be good for when I start to, what's the word? Do some more of the stop motion clay videos. I feel like that's my next big thing, is I'm going to do the stop motion. But right now, all I'm doing is I'm standing up, walking off, and then letting it continue to record. It'd be way easier if I just pause and then only record, right? So I think I'm going to have some like better hotkeys or more useful hotkeys that I need immediately on the foot pedal, more responsive, right? So that's kind of the goal with all those. So yeah, have a little bit of a cool setup, to be honest. I feel like me being a gamer boy kind of helped out with a lot of this sort of stuff, but we'll get that a little bit thin on the bottom there. And then we'll go for it. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I don't mean to be demanding, but I think there's room for more. There's room for more smoke. I don't mean to be demanding, but I think there's room for more smoke. Like, what do you mean, like actual smoke? Like, you want me to have like lasers and like that sort of stuff? I mean, I'd be game for doing that, to be honest. Like green screen smoke. Oh, I mean, I think I could, like literal smoke, or just more green screen activity, because I think I can definitely upgrade green screen activity. I have some ideas of having some of my friends, like I have a friend, she does a lot of like crocheting, and so imagine if there was like this just a lady right in front here, you know, doing like making some crocheted hat while I'm making stuff. Laser sounds fun too. Yeah, I think laser would be cool. I think there, I gotta remember that I'm drawing a lot of power though, right? I think I can hook up all my lights in the room because they're all RGB lights. I could have them swap right. Yeah, green screen work. Yeah, I think I could too, because right now it's just functioning as like the playlist I'm listening to. But there's a lot more potential there for it, especially for the streams. I'll be investigating that more later on, but right now it's just kind of like, it's all layer 1 ideas. Do you have a kiln? Yeah, but it's, somebody gave me a kiln. I can't fire it in here though. There's no outlet, and I don't think I have permission from my apartment to even be doing this, right? And so I'm not gonna like call an electrician and install a 220 volt. But I do have one. It's not usable right now. So right now it's just a shelf. It's kind of sad. I think I'd want to get a new panel for it, because right, it's just a kiln still panel, and so I think I'd like to just upgrade the panel on it, but we'll see. It's like those things where you kind of just gotta sit with it until this is kind of my mentality on a lot of that stuff. Is I'm gonna sit with that thing until all of a sudden the opportunity presents itself. That electrical. Yeah. So I think it just wouldn't be ideal to have it. And plus, I don't even really like using electric kilns for my own personal work. I'd only use it to probably bisque the work, right? And I'd take it somewhere to get gas fired or something. And so that for me is also another thing as well. And I think I gotta get a car upgrade soon, because right now my car's power steering is like out, and it's a little bit dangerous, but right now it's okay. I have to just fill it up every once in a while, which is fine. But we'll get there. You know, all these things I just do a little bit every day, and then I slowly realize that over the course of time, a year, oh wow, I actually did a lot during a year, right? And so I think that's kind of my process of doing it, is just keep on chugging along until all of a sudden you obtain the skills or the knowledge to do the thing that you wanted to do, but it just works its way out easier because you've grown, right? It's kind of my mindset on it. And then when I get enough money one day, it'll be awesome to have a little warehouse, and then I'll have a whole entire, just a big room, and then like a gimbal in the middle of the room on like a track, you know, that like follows me around the room, and I have all my pots all over the floor. You can see all of them in one view. I just think it'd be so epic. It just takes time. You know, I think I'll get to that point in maybe like maybe less than 10 years I'll be at that point, I think. You know, you gotta be realistic. I still gotta do the pottery. I gotta get my 3D scanner. I'm gonna be 3D scanning all of these pots. And so I'm gonna make them into digital, like a digital format, so I can have them kind of like flying around and stuff too. And turn them into like little animations, or maybe a game I was thinking about too. But you know, I gotta keep that all in perspective, because that's gonna take a really long time too, you know. The ideal thing would be cool to have like a 3D scanner like right next to my pots here, and then I could just take an image and have it almost like forming itself, but in a digital way, right? And then I could hold it in my hand and I could just like start floating it up. And then I also think I gotta start getting more into like CGI and upgrading my video skills, you know. Right now I'm using kind of like a bare bones program. It's not bare bones, but it's not like, doesn't have all the really epic CGI things. So I have a lot of room to grow. Alright. So this is pretty hard, so we don't want to do anything too crazy with this, right? So we don't want to go too bendy on this. You can see how it's bending in that middle part there. So I just want to slowly bring that in and down. There we go. Carving this down even a little bit more. Pop this up. And then you can see when the clay is a lot harder, you have to sort of interact with it in a different way. My fist coming right down on top. Nice. How do you feel Cranbrook prepared you for, what do you feel? Feeling more firm about graduating with Wayne, but I was also looking up to CCS and maybe one day Cranbrook. Okay. I don't know. I think, you know, I like Cranbrook quite a bit because it allows you to just like no life your studio practice, right? And so that gives you a lot of freedoms there, right? But it also makes it so you have a lot of freedom. And depending on your level of like discipline, right, it can be a little overwhelming to have that much, you know, opportunity presented to you. And you know, sometimes you'll feel guilty for not taking advantage of it as much, right? So that's like the one thing. Do I think that people like kind of like looked out for me and helped me get opportunities in my field? There was some individuals that, some professors do that, and then some they don't really do that, and that's like totally okay. My favorite teachers graduated from Cranbrook, and it's a paradise looking from the outside. Yeah, I think it is really awesome, for real. It's an awesome thing, but you just got to keep in mind it's a really open thing, and you're going to be surrounded by a lot of individuals who, you know, especially in the pottery realm. I think you got to think about too, like, what's your style of pottery, right? Because it's like a really like concept, and like it's a very modern take on pottery in my mind, right? Like, I think when I was there, it didn't feel as great to be there, because at the beginning I was just like making cups all the time. And so it just took me some time before I could really, you know, figure out what I wanted to do there. And so I felt like I wasted a little bit of time. And then my perspective on Wayne State Jessica Edgar. She's in charge of that place there. She's really sweet person. She actually bought me my first beer at a bar, which I thought was really funny. But no, she's a really great head of that department there. She's really serious, and my favorite thing about her is the first time I met her, she came in my studio, and then I had a bunch of these cups that came out of the kiln. They're all these blue cups, and I didn't think they really turned out great. And she goes to me, do you like those? And I was like, not really. And she goes, well, yeah, I thought they were terrible. Which, for me, it's like not a lot of people tell me that sort of stuff, so it was really fresh to get that sort of interaction with somebody. And then, Ebby at CCS, he's a really great individual. He's super kind, and they have a really nice facilities there. I've never actually been to the facilities at Wayne. Yeah, I think I know CCS a little bit more. And then I know a couple of the teachers there were people I know. Like I know there's Henry Chrisman that does ceramic school in Hamtramck. And then there's also, I think Mark Vanderhyde, another alum from Cranbrook, does some stuff there. And I think Claire Thibodeau, another Cranbrook alum, does some stuff there as well. So I mean, there's some cool opportunities at all these different places. I think it's more of like you got to figure out kind of what you want out of the thing. If you want to go the gallery route and do that stuff, yeah, Hamtramck. Yeah, if you've met Henry and Virginia, they're very great people. Henry has a lot of kiln knowledge too on stuff, but yeah. So it's just kind of cool. There's a lot of ceramic opportunities, I think, in Michigan. You really just got to figure out what exactly you want out of the material, right? Like, do you want to make like stuff for like gallery shows, right? Do you want to do just the online presence thing? Do you want to sell out at like a farmer's market? Like, what's your take on it? There's a lot of different opportunities there that you can get into. But camera A, wheel, there we go. Maybe you guys can see this other side when I do this, and that'll be kind of cool. We got the voice commands hooked up here. So here we go. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So kind of getting the rhythm there, right? And then you want to make sure before you start to collapse it that all the knots here right before the treetop are right around the same height. And so that way when it twists in, I'm going to slowly bring this out. Here, I'll do this camera B. Slowly pop that out. Slowly bring that up. Slow out, just kiss that rim there. Kind of trying to keep that little orb on that top there, really emphasizing that twist. And you see how the top goes out a little bit more than that bottom edge? I think that looks really great. But I hope that helped with your question on some of the school stuff. There's a lot of really good schools around here. I think it's really you'll make it if you really want it type of thing, right? It might not be soon, right? I always think it's like this. Luck comes to some people, right? But you also got to put yourself in the path or in the presence of where luck could strike you, right? And so that's why I think working hard towards your goals is really important. Like, you can't just be waiting around idly and expect that luck's going to come your way. And plus, then when finally luck does strike you, right, how nice would it be to know that you worked for it, right? Yes. Yeah, I just like to pick people's brains. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for asking. You You can ask me all sorts of questions about that stuff. I feel like even though I'm new to the Michigan pottery scene, I'm getting to know quite a few people too, and quite a few places. So feel free to ask any sort of questions. I have another year or two before I would be making a push for Cranbrook. Yeah, that'd be awesome too. And I'm pretty sure Ian McDonald, he'd still be the professor there. He's a good guy. I think me and him, we're very different types of people, but I think we're both very stubborn people. And so I think together I really enjoy some of our conversations. I think we're both stubborn enough to, die on our hill. So I really enjoyed a lot of my conversations with him. And he's a really great maker too. I mean, there's not very many people that I think really grind it out like Ian does. And so I think as far as like an educator goes, he's a really great example for someone who just, when he's making, oh man, he making, right? All right. There we go. So we got all the little curls here. I think all potters are stubborn. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I'd have to think about that a little bit. I think stubborn becomes like I think I didn't realize how broad the word stubborn can be to a lot of different things. But there we go. We got that one there. We're gonna have the second one. You know what? Actually, we're gonna have the one that we ripped second here. But camera A. Pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. There we go. That's set up there. We're gonna have this one kind of like this, I think. I think this would look kind of cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I need to get this over just a slight tad though. Let's see. Just because I want it next to the lady's lips in the background there, instead of right on over top of the lips. I think that looks pretty sick. Okay. And we need this thing here. All right, let's get a cruise in here. And we got this one in the back here. Set that right there on that top. All right. I think we're cruising now. Do we need to turn that over a little bit? I think this is okay. I don't want to push it too far over. I want to give that lady some, what's it called? Space in the background there. All right, we'll swap this over here. Let's see if my green screen is still lined up properly since changing the battery. Green on. Ooh, it's a little bit off. Let's try to, is that that's a little bit better. We have a little bit, but at least it's in a little bit better of a spot here. All right, anyway, I'm gonna start talking about it, so hold on, let me recollect myself here. Hello everybody. Today we're doing another pottery review. First we're gonna start off with this one. I think this one is probably one of the better ones. I think the tendrils are actually a little bit skinnier on these ones than some of the other ones, and so it has this really nice taper up towards that middle part. And I think I did a really good job keeping that orb sort of quality in that top part there, even though it got a little bit off. I think that one looks pretty great. Next, we're gonna have the fallen one over here. This one dipped over to one side, and so it kind of looks squished on the one side, but I really like what it did here. If you can see kind of right in this area, they're the two tendrils, one on one side, and they're almost coming together, holding hands over top of the collapse. And so I think it's really bringing some animated qualities to that pot specifically, so I quite like that one. And I really think that the swirl here is kind of cool too, the twist. Anyway, we're gonna look at the one on the top. This one I think is kind of a more basic one. I actually think the tendrils touching the treetop is a good touch though, so I'm not too disappointed with it. But those are the ones for today. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and strong mentality. Someone said Nelson Brotherhood, and then they said pot. Yes, they are pots. I didn't have any chatters on the YouTube this time, but that's okay. But yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna head off here. Thanks for watching. If you're still around, I appreciate it.